When you stare into the coal stares back at you. And it tells you to invest in cryptocurrency. But Moriana is smart. Moriana told me not to buy Bitcoin. Moriana tells me to dig a hole. That's a much better investment of your time. So we must dig. We must dig for Moriana's glory. Moriana's glory coal. there's the title of this episode right there. Moriana's glory coal. But anyway, back to Out of Ore, where this is just so much of a fun time waster game. Your purpose is quite literally take dirt, move it from point A to point B, and that's it. To make as much money as possible moving dirt. And you know what? It's actually a load of fun. It is the most time wasting thing I have probably ever done. Definitely one of the, like, I wouldn't say weird, but just confusing why it's so fun games that I've ever played. And I like Farm Simulator, stuff like that. I love slow, thoughtful games. But this game is a time suck in a good way. Where I'm like doing this in, half an hour chunks making these videos. And it's just because I'm going to be playing this anyway, I might as well record it. So, crap, I mean, I'll make a video off of it and hopefully you can enjoy this too. And decide if you want to play. Because right now, not a lot of people play this game. And I am really, really sure that it's much more fun on multiplayer. Because eventually you get to a stage where you don't have the hopper right next to your mine. You need to go and mine out somewhere else, so you need to start loading into trucks. Let's get from the wall right here. Dig it out, dig it out, dig it out. Alright. Little half scoop. But you start loading up into trucks, and the trucks are the ones that dump out into the hopper. And you need more than one person for that. Well, you don't need it. You can do it by yourself, however, it makes it even more slow. So doing these half-hour videos for a game like this just feels weird. Because to me, it feels like I'm like stopping every 10 minutes. And then, I look at the clock and it's like, no, you've been playing for like 38 minutes. Fuel low. Okay. Well, that's just one of the next things that I need to put into my production facility. We need a fuel tank. Boink. Before we're doing that, let's just see how we're doing. Alright, I know this thing takes 30 units at a time, which is perfectly acceptable. I mean, it's keeping up with the rate of one person very well. I don't need any more than that. Most of what we're getting is coal. I don't like the fact that I can't access that storage without going all the way around, though. I don't know. I might want to build something where it's like all the storage is right next to each other. Something for the future. But, okay, we've almost got a full stack of coal. That's great. I want to sell things in stacks. No particular reason. It's something to be able to go, okay, an entire stack is worth that. We have not gotten any pay dirt, which kind of sucks. Because most of the production comes from the pay dirt, where you get the diamonds and ruby ores, and then you refine those using additional equipment. But oh, I'm going off on a tangent here. We need fuel. So buildings, fuel, and a fuel tank is only 2,000. Easy, bam, great, peachy. And one thing I want to do is, again, I need to make this look like it belongs in this facility. So I'm not really wanting to wait 20 minutes for that. I need some wooden blocks, and I need them now. So let's just go ahead, cancel that. Add the blocks. We're going to have 12 blocks in 3 minutes. And then we can keep going with beams. All right. So all I got to do is take this fuel station and snap it to the grid. But you know what? This is why I like to align things with the grid first. However, it didn't really line up with my mine intentions. So, like, the hopper is going to be the datum reference for pretty much the rest of the build. So, I'm going to wait for those platforms, and I'm going to snap this kind of like that, where it would look like all you got to do is just line up, right next to the hopper. I don't want it to be too close to the hopper, because then, like, oh, makes it seem like you could clip it on the way in and accidentally cause a fuel leak and a disaster all over the facility when you accidentally hit it with your bucket. So for safety reasons, we're going to put it over here next to the, what's that called? Trowel factory production trommel. So we're going to put it right here next to the trommel. So it's like all you got to do is drive up your vehicles, park next to it, and refuel it. And it'll look really natural. But we do have enough fuel to get a couple more buckets. So while those blocks are building, always be crafting. Always be digging. But just because I flattened this area out, that bounce is completely gone now. And specifically when you've got an overload, it makes your vehicle really unstable to have an overload. And so having that flat land, it just makes things so much more smooth and enjoyable to play. Take it slow, clean, straight cuts. And this is where I kind of want to use the wooden blocks as a reference for the mine entrance. Because I still haven't decided whether I want to take this underground. I'm kind of just digging to the side and just seeing how far in I go before this coal runs out. So I'm more digging for, length rather than depth or width. I'm just pushing forward to see if this resource runs all the way through. If it does run all the way through, I know the other side of this hill is a little higher than the side I'm on, so we may turn this into a strip mine and just hog everything out. But again, I don't just want coal. I want the pay dirt, which gives me gold, which gives me gems, silicon. But right now we're doing pretty good. You can see we're already like we've lost money though. We're below $10,000, so those loans are starting to catch up to us. But with just a couple more buckets, I'm confident that. Oh, I forgot we bought the fuel tank, but that was only $2,000. So still, we've lost about $1,000 in loans, I think. Haven't been watching it too closely. So I've been making money. We've been taking scoops. Moriana is pleased. But yeah, once we get a full stack of coal, we're gonna sell that. That'll take back a big chunk of loans that we don't have to worry about, and then we can work at our pace without worrying about slipping into a eternal cycle of debt, because that's just too realistic. That would be too realistic of a simulator, right? I mean, it's not like I play a bunch of management games in my free time where I have to work out of debt and loans and please my managers, and it's not like I do that in my time of relaxation and in work. I mean, no, 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 no. That would be insane, right? Almost as insane as pretending to dig a hole on a computer game. Whenever I can grab a stick and poke a hole in the ground in my backyard. That would make much more sense. Ooh, I think I need to... Oh, no, that's free build, not snap. There we go. Just making this look... Same reason, more realistic. There. Now it clips in, everything looks supported by the ground, so that people can say, hey, this was an intentional construction. It was designed to be there by a genius who got teleported to another dimension by a immortal dominatrix necromancer. Naturally. I mean, who hasn't done that once or twice, right? Alright, we got more wooden beams. How big is this fuel station? Snap. Snap. Ooh, it's bigger than I thought. That's what she said. I need a certain distance from that conveyor belt line. It looks like it's going to be 4 to 6 long. That's what she said. Alright, I'm going to stop doing that. 3. Yeah, I need more blocks to experiment. That's what she said. Sorry. I couldn't resist. That's what she... God damn it. Stop. This is what happens when you start, like, drinking Dickies cups of Mountain Dew and playing the most mind-numbingly repetitive game. That, again, I say that about this game. No one's going to deny it. I mean, this is a very, like, just straightforward, oh my god, you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. But it's so much fun. And it's a great way to relax. It really requires very little brain power. Just enough brain power where it's like, ooh, you know, I need to plan this out. I need this to have intent. But it's not challenging. It's relaxing. I don't feel threatened by anything coming from the unknown. It's just like, all right, you know, I just need to make sure that this makes sense. You know, right now I'm digging up the plants, making sure that it looks like an intentional work area around here. No plants, like I need to remove those. Which, how the hell did those get there? Did they grow back in real time? Or was I just not paying attention? No, they must have grown back in real time. Huh, okay, I need to I need to keep a close eye on that. Because again, I don't want like weeds sticking up through the cracks in my construction. There, there. Whoops, nope, not there. There, there. All right, and just to, I think it's about time that we start doing this. I'm going to lay down dirt over all of these areas that have grass because this is the work area for my vehicles. And there is no way in hell anything's going to grow over where I'm driving my loader over and over and over. So I'm just going to go ahead, make it look flat, make it look natural, because I just added a crap ton of bumps. That'll throw me off. Not getting too close to the walls, because I want to remove the grass from the walls. Come on, come on. But I want the walls to remain flat. So there, then I'll just put dirt back in and cover it up. There. So, come on in, flatten this out. It kind of just averages everything out. It's looking okay. Yeah, I'll strip it out later. I need to make sure I don't have a bumpy workplace. That's the ultimate priority. Once we have enough money, I will get a roller and make sure that we can just do this with a vehicle. Because even with the fast shovel's nice for quick fixes, but really you need to, if you're considering this level of like setting up a production area, it's best to have vehicles devoted to this. In a previous mine I did, we went purely like underground into the side of a mountain, and I always kept a roller where when I dug a certain length into the tunnel, I would just drive the roller down the tunnel a couple times and flatten all that out, as opposed to whacking at it with a shovel. Let's average this out. Get rid of that little crack there. And it's looking good again. Let's get rid of that. All right. Okay. Again, we just need a couple more wood blocks. I'm not going to buy wood until we pay our loan off. So again, we still got enough fuel. Fuel is never really been an emergency thing, so I'm not too worried about it. I just need to get more coal so that we can get that stack, sell it, get our loan paid back, and then we can worry about what we're buying. Big old beast of a machine, and this is the absolute like cheapest thing you can get in terms of ways to get a lot amount of dirt from point A to point B. Excavators, they're very flexible. They have a relatively large digging area, I think, but they're very slow and they're very clumsy. It does take some skill to use an excavator. And their scoops are very small. So you're not just using an excavator, you need a truck if you're going to use an excavator. And so, in addition to that, if you're going to use a truck and an excavator, you need to be able to drive over the hopper. Which, I mean, there's ways to do that. I mean, that's not a particularly difficult thing to do. but it requires more equipment. You got to buy grates for the stuff to fall into the hopper, but you can still drive on top of. So like I'd have to move my workbench on that, which we still like. We're definitely gonna end up doing that because eventually we're gonna need a truck anyway. Even with the front loader, I can just smell it coming. It's in the forecast of where this mine's going. But we're making some good progress here. And I'm not even worried about really the wooden blocks for the side of the mine anymore. Because we're getting to the other side of the hill. I think I'm more going to focus on literally just taking this hill out. Taking the whole thing and just leveling it to the ground. Yeah, because this is just a mountain of coal, as far as I know. So yeah, let's just take it. Alright. Now we need fuel. I need wooden blocks. I don't want the fuel station just floating in thin air because it looks dumb. That's not an opinion. You know it will look dumb, just having a fuel tank floating in the middle of nowhere. Alright, minute and a half. 2 minutes for that one. I can wait that long. We can plan. Let's see, how are we doing on the other side? Okay, so yeah, if I keep digging through here, I'm just gonna dig and dig and dig and dig and dig and not know what I find all the way until I reach this canyon. But, uh-oh. Oh no. No, Moriana? Did you plan for this? Mommy Moriana, can you hear me? We didn't plan for this in my contract. Guys, I need to take shit. I'm in the middle of the forest. I mean, there's no other players around here, but you're watching me. You're watching me, and I can't. No, 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 no. You don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave. You're still watching. Okay, stay. Watch the video. Smash the like button. Raid Shadow Legend, right? I mean, like, you know what's going on here. Huh? We're all on the same team. Hold on. I need to handle this. I can feel it coming. Buildings. Come on. Where is it? Where is it? Decoration. There. Okay. 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 Oh, there we go. Where's the front door? There's the front door. Oh. Okay. Hold on. Don't look. I'm going to pause the dimension and then come back. Okay. Now that we've gotten that handled, whew, barely made it. Now we have a porta potty. And that makes all the difference. Okay. Who needs a fuel station? I have biofuel. I have a source of... I am the source of the biofuel. It's not like we're, mining coal or anything like that. No, I'm the source of the energy. Just keep putting down wood blocks. Because I really want this wood, or these, this fuel platform to make sense. Once things look like they're supposed to be there, it makes all the difference. It's a very satisfying feeling whenever, you've got a well-oiled machine in this game. There we go. Snap to that one. Okay, I think I've got it. Where I think it'll go about here. And I can get rid of this row. But it rotates like a Tetris piece, where it'll only go from the one that's like furthest out. So I'm going to go ahead and dig down here, just so I can snap into that. There, there, and I think I can use that as a reference to snap to. Okay, it's not as big as I thought. I can scoot it. How many tiles? 3 tiles. Let's scoot it 3 tiles in and 1 tile back, and then it'll be right up next to that. And then we've got a good fuel location. There we go. All right, so let's keep going there, there, and just, I think it was that one. I don't know. I wasn't really counting. I was just eyeballing it. But let's snap to that, rotate it like a Tetris piece. There, that looks really good. And I can get rid of these. There, now it looks like we have a fuel tank that was intended to be there this entire time. Bought to the approval of Lady Moriana. I mean, really. Look at her. She's pleased. Yes. Resurrect me. Oh, total debt, 60,000. Yeah, mommy, don't look at that. How are we doing on coal? Oh, great, we got a full stack of coal. Let's see how much a full stack of coal will get us, because right now that is our main product. That is our main moneymaker as we scoop out this little hill. And let's see, I'm pretty certain that when you sell it manually, you get twice the amount or something like that. I heard online that if you do this by yourself, because it's more work, they kind of nerfed the auto sell. You can put a selling point like underneath and just dunk everything into the selling container, but it'll only give you like half the money, even though it works constantly. I'm okay with getting more. Oh, and this is why. $91,000. There's our debt in one stack. We're making some money. So let's go back to the bank. Pay back 6 zeros. Interest payment. I didn't check what it was before, but it is $0 per minute now. The bank will have its due. Yeah, I don't owe you squat, Lerman Brothers. Okay, so here's the Earth. It's round. Very nice. At least I think it's round. We're going to dig through it eventually and see. But we've got a refuel. I don't think refueling costs any money. Yeah, very, very little. Max fuel. That costs so little money, it's a joke. So let's keep digging. I gotta be careful where I cut. Because I don't want to dig up, I don't want to dig down. I don't want to have to buy a bulldozer to correct things. Let's just keep pushing through and seeing how far the coal goes. Because again, I am so surprised that we haven't hit pay dirt yet. Because pay dirt is much more common. Like, there's a layer of pay dirt usually in between everything. There's a layer of dirt, then pay dirt, and then like veins of crap that go through them like coal. Like this is just going to be a vein. In fact, I want to start widening this, so I'm going to start digging outwards. Being very slow. Make it a level, deliberate cut. That's not gonna tip me over. Shit. She didn't see that. Moriana did not see that. She wasn't watching. I'm not that important yet. I can fix this before she notices. There. Get this up off the ground. Let's cover up our mistake. No, it wasn't a mistake. No. I don't. Logic Hog doesn't make mistakes. No. He's well experienced in this game. He's played this for years, right? Yes. I have 600 trillion hours in this game. I know about everything about this game. I know exactly what I'm doing. It's not like you're watching this video to laugh at me and possibly have fun by learning from my mistakes so that you can avoid frustration whenever you actually play the game or anything. I mean, no, that would actually be very smart and productive thing for you to do. Of course you wouldn't do that, right? Okay. Yeah, I need to flatten out the area that I'm going to widen, because again, it's got the World War One bombing area texture thing going, where I've ripped out all the plants. Yep. Just make it safe. So I don't want that to happen again. I don't want to flip over. As long as it's flat, I won't flip. But I need to make a good straight cut. Ah, bumpy. But this is about where I need to make that cut. So let's get rid of the bumpy area. There we go. Smack. Thwack. And again, like I haven't stepped into the multiplayer of this game yet, but I love multiplayer in simulator games. However, the communities need to be right, because there gets to be a lot of toxic people who are like, yeah, I'm a miner in real life. We do it only one way. You have to do it my way. And we can no longer have any fun, because that's not the way it is in real life. And I'm like, if I wanted to dig a hole in real life, I would have a stick in my backyard, man. It's kind of like my flight simulator. I play the Warthog a whole lot, and it's an air-to-ground airplane. However, crap, man, if I want to go air-to-air with an F-16 and I'm in a Warthog, and I happen to shoot something down successfully, man, I'm having a lot of fun. Don't punish me for that. I just shot a plane down for you that you couldn't shoot down, and I did it in a freaking Warthog. But now I'm going off on a tangent. That was a true story, by the way. Someone was like, oh, don't do that. And I'm like, why not? Because it's fun. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm doing it. Flash. Middle finger deployed. How are we doing on the wood back there? I haven't checked that in a little bit. Just cut one bucket and then back to the production. Yeah, see? We're not crafting anything. Always be crafting. We need wooden beams. I'm getting to the point where it's like, once we start making money, I won't have to chop down trees. I will just buy the wood. Resources are cheap. So cheap. Once you can start refining them into something else. Alright, make this cut. Trying to get it level with the other side of the mine. And you may be wondering about the texture of the scoop. It really only turns the color of the main thing you scoop. So in this scoop, it's got coal, it's got dirt, it's got a bunch of other stuff. Whatever you've dug into, it's recording it in the scoop. But you know, just because your scoop looks like dirt doesn't mean it doesn't have coal in it. It's just taking the average, like what the most of the material is. Be careful, be careful, be careful. Lower center of gravity. There we go. What do we say to the god of death? Yes, mommy. At least in this game, that's what we are. Okay. So again, you know, just like the scoop, it's like there's not only dirt here. It's putting through everything to be processed. And I think we can actually watch, yeah, see the coal is growing. We put in about half coal because it's handling 30 units at a time. And so 14 out of those 30 it's processing through was coal. Half scoops. All right. Well, again, I looked at the clock and it's just like, holy shit, I've been talking to myself for 30 minutes straight while digging a freaking trench out of the ground. And I hope you're enjoying this because I'm cursed to do this for all eternity. The freaking puppet master of the universe looking over my shoulder, making sure that I suffer because my purpose is to move dirt from point A to point B. But hey, you know, at least I'm not the butter passing guy. I mean, I could have ended up as the guy that has to pass the butter. I mean, who wants to be him? Not me. So anyway, we're gonna keep chugging along and digging this hole out until I feel like I don't want to anymore. And you will never know because there's just gonna be another video after whenever I feel like digging again. So enjoy it. Enjoy it. Embrace the pain. Embrace the porta potty time. All right. Well, yeah. I can't go when you're watching. Bye.